So, today's video, and I'm sorry I haven't made a video in a couple weeks, I guess. I didn't realize I even haven't made a video for this channel in 2 weeks. But, today's video is going to be me sharing another poem called Why Must I? Alright. Why was I made this way? Why couldn't I have been born normal? Why can't I simply just be happy? Every day, even if I'm with other people, I feel alone. But why? Why is it that I'm alone even when I'm with others surrounding me? I know I'm complaining, and I know that there are other people in worse situations than myself, but this is how I felt my entire life, alone. Why must I have been created in a way that I never wanted to be born into in the first place? I never wanted to be a girl, just like how I wish I was never born. I wish that I was never transgender. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. There are people who would say that it's a choice, that I'm just confused, that I'm a monster, that I'm a sexual predator, a lot of other things. Well, it's not true. Instead of assuming that I'm all of that, get to know me first. I'm not confused, because if I was, I'd be lost. But I know that I'm not confused about being a man. I'm not a monster. I'm not a sexual predator. I'm not all those other things that people assume me to be. Alright. So, okay. So with the line, why must I have been created in a way that I never wanted to be born into in the first place? What that means is that I should have never been born into a female's body, and that I should have been born into a male, as a male, not a female. The line, I never wanted to be a girl, just like how I wish I was never born. I mean, yeah, sometimes I think, why is it that I was born? Why was I born? But it's not meant like as, oh, I'm suicidal. I mean, I'm not. At least I am more. But yeah, sometimes I just wish I wasn't necessarily born. Because, yeah. But yeah, I should never have been born female. Just, I should have been born male, really. With the line that says, I'm not confused, because if I was, I'd be lost, but I know that I'm not confused about being a man. So pretty much that was in reference to pretty much my best friend's mom, who thinks that I'm confused just because I'm trans. And yeah, my best friend's mom is pretty much really homophobic and really transphobic as well, which is pretty much why I'm not able to hang out with my best friend Katie, So, and also with the line saying, I'm not a monster, I'm not a sexual predator, I'm not all of those other things, it's pretty much in reference to people who think that people like me, trans people, are freaks, are monsters, are predators, basically. Child molesters, shit like that. When really, anybody can be a child molester, anybody can be a sexual predator, anybody can be that kind of shit. Not just trans people. Like, for example, Josh Duggar, however you say however you say his fucking last name. And yet his mom goes around saying, and yet Josh Degar's mom goes around saying, oh no, it's just trans people who are sexual predators and shit like that. Really? Have you looked at your son? He's a sexual predator. And quite frankly, I fucking hated the Degars as it is. And yet when it came to us finding out that Josh Degar was a sexual predator pretty much as a kid. His mom accuses trans people of being sexual predators. Really? Are you sure of that, Michelle? Yeah. Instead of assuming that a certain group of people are sexual predators and that only a certain group of people are sexual predators and monsters, basically. Make sure to look at yourself and check if you're perfect, because nobody's perfect. And also, like, the thing about with my best friend's mom is that she's Latin, well, Mexican or something. Like her family's from like my best friend's mom's family is from some Latin American country. I'm pretty sure like Mexico or something, or Costa Rica / Puerto Rico. However you say that. Sorry. And like the thing that irritates me with my best friend's mom is how she thinks that I'm just confused. It's like, sure, I'm the confused one. Because, quite frankly, if it weren't for the civil rights movement, I would have never met my best friend, and her mom wouldn't be allowed to work or even go to school. My best friend would not be allowed to go to school, and I would have never met her, and her mom would not have never been allowed to go to school or even get a job. So, really, if it wasn't for the civil rights movement, for the Chicano civil rights movement, she wouldn't even have any rights. She wouldn't even be allowed to vote or go to school or get a job. And my best friend would have never been allowed to go to school, and I would have never met her, and she probably would not be allowed to vote because of her being Latin, because of her being half Mexican and half Costa Rican or Puerto Rican. And she wouldn't be allowed to even get a job when she does, whenever she gets a job. But yeah, it's like, really? And this is in reference to my best friend's mom. Well, pretty much saying this to my best friend's mom. Like, if it weren't for the Chicano civil rights movement, this is literally what I would say to my best friend's mom. If it weren't for the civil rights movement, you wouldn't be allowed to vote. Well, no, you wouldn't be allowed to go to school. You wouldn't be allowed to vote. You wouldn't even have a job if it weren't for the Chicano civil rights movement. So, who are you to even judge me? I mean, seriously, all I'm doing is fighting for my right to live and to be who I really am. Just like how people who are kind of like you, and I'm talking about like her heritage, basically, her being Latin, really. If it weren't for people who were Latin as well as you wouldn't be allowed to vote or go to school or get a job. You would pretty much be homeless. You would be jobless. You'd have never met anyone that you have never gone to school. So, just like how people who were part of the civil rights movement, like, the African Americans, the Latin Americans, and the people of the Stonewall rights were doing to fight for their rights. That's what I'm doing. I'm fighting for my rights to be human, pretty much, to be seen as human, to be seen as just who I truly am. So, not my problem that she has an issue with who I really am. And plus, with my best friend, she's 18 and it's June, so in less than 6 months, I think. So technically, it won't be her mom's decision on who she hangs out with and if she hangs out with me or not. But the thing is that I'm turning 17 in March of next year. So, if my best friend decides to come hang out with me whenever she wants, of course, as long as she has enough money to, like, get a bus pass, I guess, to come see me, then yeah. Or once I'm out of high school as well, once both her and I are out of high school, then I will pretty much just get her. So, because at that point, I'll be 18, she'll be 19, and it won't be her mom's place to tell Katie, my best friend, who she can and cannot hang out with, and especially if that's me. Because honestly, you can't keep best friends apart. You just can't. So, yeah. Alright, bye guys.